Good morning. This is attempt number 2. I hope you can see me and I hope you can hear me. My name's Jenny Kovacs and I'm nicknamed the Queen of Being Seen because you being able to spread your ripples far and wide and get out there is of paramount importance to me. In fact, I'm jiggling around so that you can see me on camera, but it's the reason why I get out of bed in the morning. So welcome to this week's episode of Monday Motivation. And checking my records, this is episode number 66, which means we're well into a year and a quarter of doing these Monday Motivations in this format. Now, let me tell you why these Monday Motivations are so important to me and how they got started. Monday Motivation started off as an email around the office to spur everybody on for a Monday morning. It started as a saying, a quote, something just to juice people because Monday's got a bad rap. So for so many of you who watch these, I know that you too are the sort of person that likes to motivate yourself on a Monday. So I hope that these weekly episodes really help you to do that, help you to start your week off on a high. So just one thing, if you're watching this and you're welcome to lurk, because I know some of you prefer to, if you're watching this and you want to come and say hello, you want to ask any questions, do type into the box below and say hi, because unless you do that, I don't know that you're there. So I've got a very wonky fringe this morning. Let me sort that out. So, please do contribute. Please remember to share these with your friends. And please do remember to let people know that every 7 a.m, like every Monday morning UK time, I'm here. So my lighting's a bit dull, so it's a little bit dark and grey, and I'm back in London, having just returned from a holiday in Italy. And this morning I wanted to share with you some insights from my recent Italian adventures, just to be able to see how you can put them into your own lives and motivate your week. So I'm just checking that everything is working as it should, because I've had a few attempts to come to you this morning. Let's just have a look and see. Yep, it looks like it's all working. So, Italian insight. So for those of you who haven't followed me for very long and don't know anything about me, I have just got back from 8 days in Italy, Napoli and the surrounding areas, which was absolutely immense. I got a top up of sun, so a nice bit of autumn heat. I got to do some shopping, I got to eat some gorgeous food, lots of gorgeous food, drink lots of lovely wine, and go and explore that part of Italy, which I've never been to before, believe it or not. And as I was sat on the plane coming home, I was writing some insights that I'd had in my recent Italian adventures, and I actually penned 8 of them. But today, for a bit of Monday motivation, I'm just going to share a couple of insights with you, and I guess why they're important, what they're about, and how to sort of start to implement them in your own lives. Because it's all well and good you tell me, hey, thank you for the, just saw the thumbs up across the screen. It's all well and good me sharing these insights with you, but I really want you to be able to apply them into your life too. So I see that my tripod's a little bit high this morning, and I'll see if I can do that. See if that will work and it will stay. Is that a bit better? So if you are watching, do post any comments or questions or anything below. I would absolutely love to answer any questions that you've got while I'm on here live for the next 20 minutes. And if not, feel free to watch this on the replay, share, let people know. Oh, I can see the comments. Ian says, hey up Jenny, hope you've had an awesome holiday. I absolutely did, Ian, thank you very much. And right here, I'm going to share some insights. Faye says, good morning. And that's really good because it means that I can see the comments. So I penned 8 insights that I learned from Italy, but I'm not going to share all of them with you now because I know you've got better things to do with your Monday. But there are a few things that I really want to acknowledge you guys all for. Those of you watching and some of your friends, also known as the lovely Visibility Vibers. Hi Carol. Finally made it live. Thank you for joining, Carol. And thank you for those love hearts and thumbs up that you've all been sending. So, one of the things that I wanted to start off by saying is that knowing that I was going to Italy, and normally between every 2 and 3 months, I run a little Facebook live challenge within the Facebook group, the Visibility Vibes Tribe. But this time, as I was reflecting, and I think language is really important, I didn't want it to be challenging for people. I didn't want people to go with the presupposition that it was going to be hard. Ivona's saying, morning all. So that's morning to Ivona, morning to Carol, morning to Ian. I can see lots of you are hopping on. I can't keep up with you all, but I'll keep checking in. And I wanted it to be something that was actually fun, that was engaging, that had really great learning lessons behind it as well, because I want you to be able to grow your audiences. I know that some of you aren't newbies. I know that some of you have been doing this for a long time. And in the stuff that I share, whether it's corporately, whether it's entrepreneurially, whether it's individually, I want you guys to be able to spread your own ripples far and wide, to be able to make the difference in people's lives that I know that you feel it in your stomach that you're born to make. And I know that certainly when I was a young girl, people only got this kind of platform if they were famous. They were on TV, radio, or in the media, only got that kind of platform to be able to share if they're famous. And now the world's a very different place. And I also know that sometimes we've had opportunities where we could go and put our stuff out there, and it's hard to catch up because, you know, there's this whole, well, what about the technology and everything else like that? So I wanted to really share and show how easy it could be. And I also didn't want it to be a challenge that people felt that pressured into doing. So last week saw the 5-day visibility fund, because one of the other things that I know is that I love doing video, I love doing Facebook Lives, I love holding live events, whether it's workshops, whether it's corporate training, you know, whether it's 1 day, 3-day events. I love all of that synergy, but I know that for some people, they feel that they want to become better with their writing, or they want to be able to position themselves more on their posts on social media, as well as the face-to-face, in-person stuff. So last week was the 5-day visibility game, which was extended to 6 days. So you had an extra bonus day. If you haven't caught up with that yet, do go into the Visibility Vibes Tribe and do have a play along. But one of the first things I wanted to start off with, before I just share my insights from Italy, was that one of the things that I know is that every time I've run something similar, people get really inspired, and especially when you've got your own groups, you'll say, oh, I'm going to do the same thing in my group. And the last 3 or 4 times that I've run it, and people have gone in and gone to their group. You know, one lady sent me a message and said, I hope you don't mind, I really want to share this and do something similar in my group. Then she came back and said it didn't seem to work as well. So there's always a method to my madness. So there's always a reason behind the scenes for doing these things. So one of the things that I would like to do, straight off the bat, if you're watching this, whether it's live on the replay, I've put in a couple of slots this week where I'm going to host good old-fashioned webinars, but I'm going to host them in a slightly different way, where you can join in, go in live and ask questions. The reason I've put in a couple of slots is that I'm aware that some of you can't commit and do anything in the daytime, and some of you can't do anything in the evening. So I'm putting in a couple of slots in my calendar. I've already put in a couple of slots in my calendar, and I'll be going through the method to the madness and actually breaking down what you learned on each step. Now, this is really important because it was fun. It was really juicy. I managed to watch a couple of the videos, and I will be going in and watching the rest of them as I go through. I think in one of the previous challenges, I watched just under 200 videos and read a gazillion posts, and I will promise and commit to do that. But I want you to understand the method to the madness behind it, so that you can take it forward into how you're visible, whether you work for an organisation or a company, or whether you have your own business, or whether you're just kind of getting started and really ramping up your own visibility. It was a visibility game this time, not just a video game, and I really want you to be able to get the juice from that. So if this is something that you would like more information on, I will be posting and sharing the information in the Visibility Vibes Tribe in the form of an event. So do look out for it, because in order for those events to show up, I have to invite everybody to it, and I don't like to do that. I like people to join by invitation. So do look out in there. Alternatively, if you want to make sure that you really don't miss out, because I also have a couple of, I've had, even though I've been on holiday, people sending me messages saying, when you get back, can you contact me? Because I really need to have a little session with you. So if you want to join on the webinar and find out more about all of that, then if you could type the words, I want more in the box below. I know that sounds random. What that will enable me to do is to send you a message with the details and the link. Then you've got it in your inbox and you can choose to join or not to join as you wish. I think that's more collaborative. So I want more. You would like to attend this. I knew what you meant, Carol. I knew what you meant. So just type into the box below, I want more, and a little bit later on this morning, I'll send you information how you can join in. And the reason it'll be a bit later on is because I have an 8 o'clock client already. I've also got a client that I'm going to be meeting in London, and it's interesting because this is the kind of scope that I want you to understand with visibility, and I will get onto those insights now. You know, so I've got somebody who has just decided that they wanted to start creating an online course and getting it out there. So I've been helping them over a period. Now, people think it's just about creating the online course and putting it out there. There's a run up to it. There's how do you let people know before it's even happened. There's putting the course together, getting the learning nuggets. And then there's the other side of actually selling it and maintaining those sales. So you don't just do all of that hard work and effort, sell 1, 2, 3, and then fall flat. You don't want to do that. So I will be sharing, some insights into that on the webinar. And then the other client that I've got a bit later on this afternoon, who is one of my premium clients who I tend to meet face to face, we're going to be discussing some work that they're going to be doing abroad. So although they have raised their profile here, they want to raise it even further, but they're looking at working in America, looking at working in Dubai. So we work very specifically together to help them to raise the profile. How do you send out information before, especially if you've never worked in a particular country? How do you get your speaking gigs there and things like that? And this is all under the banner of, for me, if I had to put it into 3 words, I'd say it's all under the banner of presentations that sell. Because you want to do your Facebook Lives, you want to do your videos, you even want to write your posts, but you want people to get who you are, and you want people to then go on and ask you how they can do more with you. And that's my desire for you, because when you do more with people, you get to spread your ripples far and wide. That, my friends, is why I get out of bed in the morning, even if I've been travelling at 7 a.m, especially on a Monday. So let me share some Italian insights that I had. As I say, there's 8 in total, but I'll share a couple here, and I'll share the rest, over the coming days, so that you've got all of that as well. But what I would get you to do is to take on these insights with your own glasses, your own filter of how you can use them to motivate you. So the first insight that I wrote down was expectations. So there I was going to Italy, having never been strangely to Italy before, and I've travelled to quite a few places. And expectations. So it occurred to me that I had certain expectations of Italy. And, I've heard many, many great things about Italy. And I'd heard one kind of slightly not so great thing about Italy. But I chose to go with the expectations that I had. And when we enter into anything, whether it's into your week, Ivona says, by the way, missed you, Jenny. Oh, bless you. Thank you, Ivona. So whether you're taking these into your day, into your Monday, into your morning, into your day, into your week, into your month, for next month as well as this month, expectations play a huge, huge part in our experiences. Like literally, if you were to say, right, I'm going to go into today expecting everything to be absolutely amazing and fabulous, you'll start to notice opportunities that come out of the woodwork that you've never even considered before. You'll start to notice people showing up in the right place in the right time, talking about the things that you just needed to hear at that moment in time. And the expectations start to feel just ecstatic and great and exciting and juicy. And Italy was no different for me. I went into sort of going to Italy with the expectations that the Italians are very passionate people, that they're very enthusiastic, that they're very friendly people. And if you think about it, the world over, wherever you travel, there's certain nationalities that have a reputation for just being awesome people. And to me, the Italians are one of them. You know, the Australians tend to get that really great reputation. The Irish get that really great reputation as well. So going and seeing the passion, and one kind of funny story that did make me laugh was, I was, you know, you hear all about the passionate Italians and the very big kind of gestations when they speak and their hands. And I was watching like 5 minutes of TV while I was waiting to be served a drink. And as I was watching TV, they had a lady in the corner doing Italian sign language, and it just occurred to me that, you know, sign language is sign language. You know, you can do your letters in the alphabet. I do know a bit of sign language for those people that might be watching. They know that I've just done the vowels. And this lady, she was like, sign language, and her hands were going everywhere. And it reminded me again, like, what are you passionate about in your life this week? Even if you're feeling down or overwhelmed or drawn, find one thing that you're really passionate about and go and play it 150% out. Just that one thing. There's a really great book that I've referred to a lot of times before on these lives, and it's called Strength Finders by Tom Rath, R-A-T-H. And he talks about, he does a Strength Finders test. It profiles your top 5 strengths, and the premise of it isn't don't play to your strengths and work on your weaknesses. Actually, the premise of the book is find out what your 5 top strengths are and make sure that you do at least one of those every day. And it actually enhances what you do. You don't need to worry about the things that you perceive that you're bad at, which is going to be one of my other insights that I learned. Do something that inspires you every day. But I'm going to say today, do something that every day that you're passionate about. Think of the thing that you're passionate about. You know, even if you've got a busy schedule and you're passionate about eating cake, then eat cake. You know, if you're passionate about helping people, I know that for those of you with a business, you've got a channel in which you can do that through, which I do too. But you know, if I go down to the bus stop or the train station and just have a random conversation with a stranger, it feeds part of like what I'm passionate about. So I want you to think about the things that you're passionate about and be passionate beyond belief. So that was one of the insights that I got. Second insight that I had, which I don't know if you can really call this an insight. I mean, the food. Oh my gosh, the food in Italy is amazing. The wine is absolutely delicious for those of you that drink wine, especially the red wine. It was so delicious, so tasty. So I did indulge in a lot of that. But one of the things that I laughed at, and it was something that I didn't expect and didn't realise, how sweet-toothed the Italians are. At our hotel, for breakfast, I counted over 14 different types of cake. And I don't just mean, you know, sponges and things like that. There were like jam tarts. There was something called a jam roll, which is like a Swiss roll. Thin on the sponge, high and heavy on the jam. And Lillian Larty, who I know isn't watching this morning, but I know she'll come back on the replay. I had a moment of, what would Lillian do? There were like all these different cakes. There were lots of fruit juices, which were like kind of fruit cordials. And then there were lots of processed meats and cheeses and stuff like that. And that's not to say that I don't eat them, and I love salami and things like that. And I just thought, gosh, if Lillian was walking around and choosing her breakfast, what would she do? So I had a what would Lillian do moment. And in my what would Lillian do moment, I realised, I looked further, I had choices. There were fresh slices of lemon, so I could have hot lemon water. Then I found around the sneaky corner, they had a healthy table, and on that healthy table, they actually had freshly juiced apples and things like that. So the motivation and the insight from that is that you always have choices. I know I say this a lot, but until you actually not just hear it, but practice it on a daily basis, you always have choices. And neither, in my opinion, is right or wrong. You just choose something that's going to spur you further forward, or you might choose something that's going to put you in a hold, and you might need that. You might already be overwhelmed, so you might need to just put that in a hold. And by the way, quite often I have clients say, oh, I've got so much, I don't know what to do next. and I say, well, in my opinion, do nothing. And they look horrified, mortified. What do you mean do nothing? I need to do something. And I say, if you choose to do nothing, you've just actually made a choice to do nothing. So you've actually done something. Does that make sense? Give me a love heart or a thumbs up if that even makes sense. But when you make a choice to pull back, have a look, reassess, you choose, reflect even, you actually make a choice, and that is a choice to do something, even if it feels like I'm not doing anything, I'm not progressing as quickly, or anything else like that. It's an actual choice. One of the other insights that I had personally was and this is I'm going to be honest with you. I could sit here and say this is a lesson that I've learned over my 45 years, and I've nailed it, and I don't have it anymore. But actually, it's a recurring lesson for me. And the lesson is about being open to receiving. It is such a recurring theme for me. Be open to receiving. Just as I think, in business, I'm open to receiving new clients. And yeah, I've nailed it. Then I get the lesson of, am I open to receiving, payments for certain thing? Am I open to receiving gifts? Am I open to receiving help? And that was a biggie for me this holiday. I realised, I have a PA, I have someone that helps me with social media, even though I love doing social media. I now have someone that helps me with my videos, and these are all people that I pay for their services. I don't just try and kind of sponge off and say, oh, well, if you give me a hand or if you help me out, I'll tell people about your work. And I really believe that if that's you, whether you are the person on the receiving end of that service or on the paying end of the service, it's really, really important. Really important thing. But I realised that I was there with my lovely man, and we were walking and looking through the shops. I saw something really gorgeous, and he was like, go in, try it on, see what you think, and this, that and the other. I went into the shop and I was asking questions in my very, very poor Italian, and I realised as I walked away from the shop, I just thought, I'm not being open to receiving here. And giving and receiving is part of the same stick, and you don't want your stick to be always giving and never receiving, or vice versa. So I think it's a really, really important thing to do is to keep looking at where you could be stopping yourself from receiving. And in the entrepreneurial space, specifically, help is one big area. People struggle with things, they struggle through. They say things like, oh, well, I've even had people say to me before, Jenny, you seem to be able to do these presentations or these videos or these Facebook Lives really well. I really need to get to grips with how to do that. And then they go off and try and figure it all out. Or they do the how much is that doggy in the window thing. That song, How Much Is That Doggy in the Window? The one with the waggly tail, where they look through the window and see the cute dog and know nothing about it and go off and have dreams about how they're going to have the cute dog. And they don't actually go inside the shop and say, can you tell me a bit about the breed? Is it as cute as it looks? Does it bark? Does it like kids? That kind of thing. I see that a lot in the entrepreneurial space. We think, oh, well, if I do this thing, I won't be able to afford to do it. And nobody ever asks the question. So that's one of the things one of the insights that I got from seeing, these lovely things, and my lovely man saying, why don't you get it? Why don't you get it? And me not being open to receiving that. As it turned out, I had an epiphany quite quickly, and I went back and I said, yeah, I'm going to go for it. And guess what? The lovely man bought it for me as a present. It was never in his intention for me to go in and buy it for myself. He wanted to treat me, but I blocked the receiving. And what I always say is, how you do anything is how you do everything. If you notice that you're blocking yourself in one area of your life, it will show up in another area. Don't be fooled that, oh, well, no, it's only in business that I do this, or it's only in my personal life that I do this. It will always show up in another area. We need to be open to looking out for it. We need to be open to being self-aware as well. Because the one thing that nobody tells you about being more visible is it's nothing to do with your outsides, it's everything to do with your insides, be it mindset, be it your heart, be it your passion, be it how you feel inside. It's everything to do with your inside stuff. So I hope that that's been helpful or useful. I don't see any questions. Thank you so much for joining on, but thank you immensely for those of you that took part in the 5-day visibility game. The ones that I watched and was able to catch up with, they were absolutely immense. They were awesome. And just because it's kind of gone on for the end of the week, I've got a busiest day today. If you haven't had the chance to see what I'm talking about, do go in and have a look, and do play along if you feel to. What I would say is don't try and do all 5 things in one go, and this is part of the key: consistency. I'll be talking more about that in the webinars that I'm holding this week, around why, how they were structured, why it's important, how they worked, and how they benefit you. Most importantly, how they benefit you, how they actually benefit your visibility. So don't think, oh, I'm just going to go and do all 5 in one go, because that isn't being consistent. That's just keeping into a pattern of just doing it in one foul swoop. Now, a very strange insight that I'm also going to share, and again, if you are interested in receiving this information, do send me a private message to this page. I am a big fan of the lovely Ann Wilson, a big fan of her work, and one of the things that I realised where I wasn't open to receiving was Ann Wilson talks a lot about money. She talks a lot about, she's known as a wealth chef. She talks a lot about being financially free, and one of the ways I kidded myself, even though I met Anne and Anne became one of my clients, I helped her start the first Wealth Weekender as a wealth chef in the UK. I think it was back in 2013. So I helped to work behind the scenes and organise that event for her. So I've got a lot of love for Anne, a lot of respect for her work, and I've seen the change that she made. And even though I had this close-up and personal experience to be able to delve deeper into her work, I said to myself, I'm not gonna go there yet. I'm nowhere near becoming a millionaire or anything else like that. So I'll wait until I earn a bit more money. I'll wait until I have a bit more money, and then I'll look at how to manage my money, how to become financially free. And I tell you, if you've had any thought like that, you're doing it completely the wrong way round. So if you would like the information, her free video series that actually started on Friday, let me know and I'll privately send you the link a bit later on today so that you can start to get into her videos. I know that video 2 comes out today, but I think it's a really important thing to start to get to grips with your finances, and this is across the board, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're an employee. You know, I have clients who are quite senior exec levels, and they still worry about their family or their kids at university, or whether they're going to have enough money in the university fund. You know, and if something happens to them, what will happen to their family? And when you can get financial independence and set yourself up with some of the stuff that Anne teaches, you don't have those concerns, you don't have those worries, which makes whatever you're doing today less fraught. It makes your visibility less stressy for you, and it makes the vibe that you put out there more relaxed because you're confident and comfortable in your own skin. So if this is something you're interested in, send me a message to this page, to the Queen of Being Seen page. Hit the message box, you will get an automatic message back, and I'll send you the link so that you can sign up to get those free videos. They are immense. Don't wait until you're making the gazillion money that you think you should. Start putting those practices in place now. Become financially free now, so that when you've got your gazillions, you know how to manage those too. Thank you so much for watching me this morning, and thank you again for playing with the 5-day visibility game. I absolutely adore you. I really mean that. You guys are the juiciest, loveliest people on the planet. I'm so proud of what you all achieved, how you all support each other and how you help each other. So next time you'll see me on here, I might quickly hop in tonight actually at 7, but I will be doing the Visibility Made Easy series back again all this week. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you for your love hearts and your comments. Lots of love. Have a magnificent Monday. Bye for now.